Hi friends, this is Chetna from LIMS. Today we will learn about leukocytes and functions of leukocytes, then bleeding and blood coagulation. So let's start with the leukocytes or WBCs. Leukocytes or WBCs are larger than RBCs and have a count of about 6,000 to 11,000, on an average 8,000 per cubic mm of blood. They are transparent and virtually without any color. The WBCs are also formed in the bone marrow. Granulocytes form about 75% of WBCs. The remaining 25% are lymphocytes, or the cells formed in the lymph nodes, spleen, liver, and also bone marrow. The granulocytes are further classified under the following types depending on their staining characteristics. So let's learn about granulocytes. Neutrophils. Neutrophils stain with a neutral dyes and are in a majority, that is about 62%. These are responsible for fighting against infections. Then eosinophils are about 2 to 3% and are stained by eosin stain. And basophils stain with basic dyes and are seen as blue. They play an important role in allergic reactions. Lymphocytes are presumed to be responsible for protecting the body from chronic infections and giving immunity from infections. A few larger WBCs are known as monocytes. So these are the granulocytes. That is nothing but the white blood cells. Now let's learn about the functions of WBCs. The most important function of WBC is defending the body against microorganisms. The granulocytes and monocytes actually eat living microorganisms by a process known as phagocytosis. Thus, they kill the microorganisms and also ingest them, and therefore keep the internal body environment clean. For this function, they are called phagocytes. They have the capacity to move freely in and out of the blood vessels and to go to any part of the body. Therefore, they can surround the infected area of the body, ingest the invading microorganisms and destroy them, and also take away any unwanted material or debris by the same process. Whenever the WBCs are unable to control infection, death of cells and of WBCs occur, leading to the formation of an off-white colored fluid called pus. Then thrombocytes and platelets are about 1/3 the size of an RBC and are responsible for the clotting of blood. During hemorrhages, their normal count is 250,000 to 5 lakhs per cubic mm of blood. Then total count, that is TC, means the total number of WBCs or RBCs in a blood sample, and differential count, that is DC, is the percentage of different values of WBCs. So this is about the leukocytes. Now let's see pH of the blood. With the pH between 7.35 and 7.45, blood is always slightly alkaline. Maintenance of the pH in this range is very important, as the body can tolerate only slight variations. This maintenance is achieved by 3 processes. First, elimination of CO2 by the lungs. Second, excretion of acidic material by kidneys in the urine. And third, presence of sodium bicarbonate in the plasma. Now let's learn about the bleeding and blood coagulation, very important process inside the body. Whenever there is any injury, blood escapes, flows out from the blood vessels. This is known as bleeding or hemorrhage. If the bleeding is not stopped, it can be detrimental to life. It is through the process called blood clotting or coagulation that the bleeding is stopped. The clot is a complex, jelly-like red mass made up of fibrin derived from fibrinogen, platelets and other cells also. After the clot is formed, it shrinks, squeezing out serum. The blood does not normally clot while circulating in the body. The main reasons are intact endothelial lining of blood vessels and equilibrium between clotting and non-clotting factors in blood, with a slight tilt in favor of non-clotting factors. The process of coagulation is complex. It requires a large number of clotting factors and various steps to pass through. You can see in the diagram. As soon as a blood vessel is ruptured, the vessel walls liberate a substance called thrombokinase or thromboplastin. This agent, in the presence of calcium salts, convert prothrombin in the blood to thrombin. The thrombin then converts fibrinogen to fibrin threads, which entangle together to form a clot. Rarely it is a clot formed in circulating blood. When it does, it is known as thrombus. When a part of a thrombus detaches itself and circulates in the body, it is known as an embolus. Blood coagulation tests show bleeding time taken to stop bleeding when a fingertip is pierced with a sterile needle, and clotting time, the time taken by blood collected in test tube to clot, and prothrombin time taken for conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Thank you for watching.